Theirs is the best compatibility chart I've ever seen. Hello stars, my name is Beatrice. I'm a professional astrologer, and on this YouTube channel I publish videos about BL ships, for example about Skynani, Omnanon and so on. Today I'm going to talk about the relationship between Zhao Zhan and Wang Yibo. In June 2019, the Chinese drama The Untamed was released with Wang Yibo and Zhao Zhan playing the main characters. The drama had an immense success and people talk about it even years later, one of the reasons being the amazing chemistry between the two main actors. Their interactions in behind-the-scenes footage and in interviews made many people believe that the two might even be a couple in real life. In this video, I will talk about the way they influence each other and about their compatibility. Is the amazing chemistry that we see on screen real? We'll find that out together. The one thing that I won't talk about is answering the question if they are in a romantic relationship. I can neither confirm nor deny this because it would be an intrusion into their private life. Addressing this topic is something that only they can do if and when they want to. Before we start, I want to ask you something. Did any of you watch The Untamed recently? And please let me know in the comments the year when you watch my video and if the Yizhan ship is still sailing so many years after The Untamed. Now let's start with the basic info that you need to know, the birth dates of the two actors and the methods I'm going to use. Zhao Zhan is the older one. He was born on the 5th of October 1991, meaning that he is a Libra. Wang Yibo is 6 years younger. He was born on the 5th of August 1997 and is a Leo. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any reliable source for their birth time, so I don't know their ascendants. Which is a pity because this means I can only see about a third of the information that I would otherwise get if I knew their rising sun. But even so, there is a lot of information that we can find out by looking at their relationship horoscopes. And these are the two methods that I'm going to use. First of all, the synastry, which is a comparison of the two birth charts. The synastry offers us information about the compatibility between two persons. And secondly, the composite, this being a horoscope that uses the midpoints of the planets from the birth chart. For example, if a person has the sun at 10 degrees in Aries and the other one has the sun at 20 degrees in Aries, the composite sun will be at 15 degrees in Aries. The composite chart is like a natal chart of a relationship. Let's start with the synastry. The inner circle that you see in this image is Zhao Zhan and the outer circle is Wang Yibo. The first thing that I look for when analyzing a synastry chart are the personal planets and if there are any connections between them. The personal planets are the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus and Mars. If there are no connections, not even challenging ones, between the personal planets of the two persons, these two will have difficulties finding common interests or having a deep bond. Good news for Yizhan fans. All of the actors' personal planets are connected to the other person's planets. There is not even one without a connection. And this is a relatively rare thing that I've seen only in the horoscopes of persons who have a very close relationship. Actually, it's the other way around. Exactly these many connections between the planets are the reason why the two persons become so close. Let's take a closer look to Yizhan's chart. Bear with me as this is going to be long. And I won't even mention all the connections that I see, for example between the asteroids, otherwise this video would be a lot longer. First of all, the two suns representing them as persons and their personality are connected. Wang Yibo's sun forms a sextile to Zhao Zhan's sun and Mercury, and also a large conjunction with Zhao Zhan's Chiron. A harmonious connection between the two suns is always a good sign for any kind of relationship, be it a friendship, a business partnership, a romantic relationship, and so on. People with this aspect in their synastry try to serve each other, they support each other, and give each other self-confidence. The connection between Yibo's Sun and Zhan's Mercury and Chiron shows a deep connection on an intellectual and emotional level. They communicate very well, often without even speaking, because they understand each other very well. They challenge each other to think bigger and to evolve. Jan is a person who helps Ibo by giving him advice, and if Ibo can't express his thoughts or feelings, Jan helps him do that. The Sun-Chiron sextile also means that they are not afraid to be themselves and to show weakness in front of each other. Together they will overcome these weaknesses and evolve on a spiritual level. And last but not least, Ibo's Sun brings light and warmth, helping to heal Jan's emotional wounds represented by his Chiron. I talked about Jan's Mercury, now let's take a look at Ibo's Mercury. This is the planet representing the intellect and communication, thus playing an important role in relationships of all kinds. His Mercury forms a conjunction to Jan's Moon and Jupiter, and also a trine to his Uranus. The Moon-Mercury connection shows again that they love to communicate with each other, but that they don't even need words to do that. It could also be a sign that Ibo helps Jan deal with some emotional struggles from the past. The Mercury-Jupiter conjunction is great to have in any kind of relationship because it makes the two persons think big and evolve. While one is good at planning and organizing, the other one is optimistic and thinks outside the box. And then we have the Mercury-Uranus trine showing that the two hate monotony. When they are together, they like doing unusual things, they are constantly interacting on an intellectual level, speaking a lot, never standing still. This is, in my opinion, at least one of the reasons why Ibo, who is introverted and quiet when he's with other people, becomes another person when he's interacting with Jan. He is suddenly extroverted, cheerful, and talkative. The downside of this aspect is that the two might sometimes be in their own world, ignoring the people around them. Now let's take a closer look at the Moon. The Moon represents our feelings and our deepest needs. You can't analyze a relationship horoscope without analyzing the Moon. Besides Ibo Mercury connected to Jan's Moon, we also have Ibo's Moon conjunct Jan's Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. You can't even imagine how powerful this conjunction is. The two are deeply connected on an emotional level, feeling what the other feels without even talking. They understand and love each other just the way they are, and they feel very comfortable with each other on an intellectual, emotional, and physical level. They also make each other feel loved and help each other overcome emotional struggles from the past. When they are together, they have a lot of fun, and this would be the second reason why Ibo seems to be another person when he is with Jan. Last but not least, they have similar interests and similar principles in life. Yet this powerful conjunction has a negative side too, especially because they are so well connected on an emotional level. When one of them feels down or is hurt, the other one will strongly feel that too. And it's not just a thing of empathy like all of us could show. Usually when we have a friend that suffers, we try to help that friend overcome the situation. In Ijan's case, instead of pulling each other out of the situation, for a short while they might be stuck together in a self-pity pool because they both feel the pain and are unable to move. Wang Ibo has a Venus Black Moon Lilith conjunction in his birth chart, and this conjunction forms many aspects with planets and asteroids in Zhao Zhan's chart, amongst others a trine to his Neptune and North Node and a trine to his Uranus. They both understand very well the wishes and needs of the other. Each of them is genuinely happy of the other one's success and happiness, and they will try to help each other make their dreams come true. Ibo is fascinated by Jan's uniqueness and spontaneity, which also makes him want to be more spontaneous himself. At the same time, Ibo has a stabilizing and calming effect on Jan. The only problem that I see with these connections is that the two sometimes tend to avoid problems that arise instead of confronting them. Now let's talk about Mars. First of all, the two Marses, can I call them that, are conjunct. This brings a lot of energy in their relationship, meaning that they love to be active together, especially doing sports or other physical activity. This is also a sign that they stand by each other when conflicts arise, fighting together to overcome the unpleasant situation. I won't talk about asteroids too much because this video would be way too long, but there is one that I want to mention, Pallas Athena. I mention it because there is a double interaction between Mars and Pallas Athena in their synastry. Ibos Mars forms a conjunction with Jan's Pallas Athena, while Jan's Mars forms a square to Ibos Athena. A short explanation on Pallas Athena. This asteroid represents the warrior goddess, thus being the female counterpart of Mars. She also represents wisdom, intelligence, and creativity. This is a power couple. I don't mean it in a romantic way because I said that I don't want to confirm or deny anything about that, but I don't know how else to call them. A power duo. With the power of Mars and Pallas Athena combined, they are very creative and have a lot of ideas, but also the energy, wisdom, and patience to put their plans into action. There might be some tensions caused by the square, but they have so many other positive aspects that they rarely fight, if even that. They could achieve amazing things together. Unfortunately, as far as I know, after the Untamed, they didn't have other projects together, which is a pity and a loss for all art-loving people. We're done now with the personal planets, but there are still some planets left. For example, Ibos Jupiter forming a square to Jan's Pluto. Having this aspect, there might be a tendency to manipulate each other or some kind of power struggle. Especially if Jan has inner conflicts and feels insecure, he could pull Ibo to this darker side. But if they use this aspect in a positive way, the power of Jupiter and Pluto can trigger a transformation and evolution. Now we're getting to some challenging aspects in their synastry. They are a bit complex, but I will try my best to explain them. I'm talking now about Saturn, who represents challenges and limitations, and you will see that both Ibo and Jan sometimes are too stiff or too strict in their relationship. First, there is Ibo's Saturn opposed Jan's Mars. That's Jan's energy, passion, and drive to do things opposed Ibo's reservedness and prudence. This could sometimes make Jan feel like Ibo is holding him back. They can turn this into a positive aspect if Ibo doesn't block Jan completely but offers him support instead. And after seeing the strong connection between their personal planets, I believe that this is something that they will manage. Moving on to Zhao Jan's Saturn. It forms a conjunction with Wang Yibo's Neptune and a square to his Chiron. It is a combination that almost always involves a long and painful learning process. There are many problems or criticism that they have to face together. This could come from external factors like working in a rigid system, conservative people criticizing them, and so on, but also from within the relationship. Maybe they sometimes criticize each other. But the bigger problem is, in my opinion, that Jan has certain fears, maybe he cares about traditional values and so on, making him block Ibo's wish to be closer. Whatever Jan's fears are, Ibo can help him overcome them, but he can only do that if Jan is willing to open up. As I said, this is a long and painful process, but in the end healing is possible. There is also one more thing that I see in their synastry and that makes me think that Jan is sometimes very cautious. Jan's Chiron is opposed to Ibo's Uranus and conjunct his Pallas Athena. This indicates that Jan sometimes feels vulnerable and is afraid that Ibo could open some older wounds that he, Jan, has from the past. Fortunately, using Athena's wisdom and patience, Ibo can help Jan to understand that he has the right to be happy. This was Jan's synastry, showing us how they interact with each other and if they are compatible with each other. If you made it this far and are still watching the video, hold on a little bit longer. I guarantee that the second part is as interesting as the first one. So now we're moving over to the composite chart, the one that shows how their relationship is and how other people see Wang Yibo and Zhao Jan as a whole, as one entity, no matter what kind of relationship they have. Once again, I will only mention the most important things that I see in the horoscope, otherwise this video would be too long. In a composite chart, the houses are very important. Unfortunately, I don't know the actor's birth time, so there is no way to calculate the composite ascendant and the composite houses. And that's a shame because they could provide us some important information about a powerful pattern that I see in this composite chart. A T-square formed by the Sun and the asteroid Psyche in Virgo oppose Saturn and Valentine in Pisces, and both forming squares to the asteroids Parasatina, Nike, and Fortuna in Sagittarius. The two are very fortunate to have a huge success and a huge international fandom, but this is exactly the one thing that could become problematic. Probably the most challenging aspect in their relationship is the Sun-Saturn opposition. If they didn't have many other harmonious aspects, this aspect alone could ruin their relationship, as it could make them criticize each other too much. They could have different opinions and principles regarding certain matters, especially when it comes to traditional values. Or even if they have the same views, some other conservative people could cause tensions. As if that wasn't enough, we have the squares to the asteroids in Sagittarius. I don't know the houses where all of this is happening, so I can't say what the topics are for sure. But Sagittarius ruling over the triggering asteroids could indicate life philosophy, religion, principles, law and legal matters, worldwide fame and fanatism. In my opinion, Ijan as an entity could lead to discussions about, respectively their relationship could be affected by, discussions about principles, morals, even certain laws. Being that famous and constantly in the spotlight doesn't help at all when it comes to their relationship. Having fans is great, having the media's attention is great, but for Ibo and Jan it would be best to keep their relationship private. Not necessarily secret, but definitely private. Fortunately, there are two asteroids that help a little as they form positive aspects to the T-square. Sappho is connected to the Sun and Saturn, Amor to those triggers in Sagittarius. I won't go into details, but I want to mention the one thing that comes to my mind when seeing Amor there. Omnia vincit amor, love conquers all, or love overcomes all. Ibo and Jan also have two minor grand trines in their composite horoscope. Minor grand trines represent talents and creativity. The more powerful one in their horoscope is formed by Jupiter and Pluto in Scorpio, Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, and Mercury and the asteroid Karma in Virgo. Knowing the houses would be great, but even without knowing them, I can tell you that this duo is extremely creative and talented. We also had this topic in the synastry, and I must say it again. It's a pity that they don't get the chance to work on more projects together. I hope that they will do that in the future. Let's take a look at the conjunctions that form this minor triangle. First, we have the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. The combined energy of Jupiter and Pluto is another sign that Ijan are a power duo. They have the power and energy to achieve almost everything they want when working together. Together they can become very successful, famous and rich. The Uranus-Neptune conjunction shows a very profound spiritual and emotional connection between the two. They each trigger changes in each other's way of thinking, and together they are very creative, having innovative artistic ideas. Next on the list is Mercury conjunct with the asteroid Karma. My guess is that the first time they met, they immediately clicked. They probably felt as if they knew each other for years. Persons having this conjunction in their composite chart communicate very well with each other, and they understand each other even without speaking, as if they could read each other's mind. If you combine these three conjunctions, what do you get? An extremely creative duo that has the power to trigger important changes in the system, in society, in art, and so on. They can do that best by using their talents, creativity, and some form of artistic expression, be it acting, singing, or something else. Now that we talked about the aspect patterns, let's move over to the aspects between the planets. First of all, we have the Sun representing the relationship, conjunct Psyche, and using a larger orb also conjunct Venus and Chiron. Many astrologers don't use asteroids, but this can play an important role in relationship horoscopes. Psyche, for example, is very important because it shows if there is a connection on a mental and emotional level between the two persons. Having the Sun conjunct Psyche means that Ibo and Jan are deeply connected to each other. Their souls are like one. Through each other, they each learn more about themselves and evolve to become better persons. Having also Venus and Chiron close to the Sun and Psyche, there is a deep feeling of love and security between them, and they help each other in their process of self-healing. The composite moon is conjunct the composite Venus. This is a sign of love and understanding. It's a very good aspect to have in the chart of married couples or of people who work together on artistic and creative projects. Do you want to hear me say again that this world needs more Ijan projects? Moving over to Mars, forming a square to Neptune and Uranus, and also a conjunction to asteroid Juno. This is the second aspect that is really problematic in their composite chart. It indicates illusions, for example, if they lie to each other or if they lie to themselves because they have certain utopic expectations that aren't met. It could also be a sign that they have to keep their relationship secret. The Mars-Juno conjunction and also the fact that Neptune and Uranus are part of the minor trine I've mentioned earlier makes this challenging aspect a little bit easier to handle. As long as Ijan are honest to themselves and to each other, as well as being open-minded and flexible, this relationship can last a long time and will be an exciting one. Jean and Ibo will hate monotony and will try to always experience new things together. Last but not least, I want to talk about Black Moon Lilith conjunct the North Node. Once again, I'm sad that I can't calculate the astrological houses because the North Node indicates their, let's say, destiny as a couple. Its placement in the houses would tell us so much about their role in society and about their purpose as a duo. But here is some information that I can tell you even without knowing the houses. Their composite North Node is in Scorpio and also conjunct Black Moon Lilith. They share a deep connection on a spiritual level. It goes so far that they maybe even met each other in a previous life. They are very talented but don't want to rely only on their talent and creativity. They will feel accomplished when they have also reached a certain level of financial security. Stability and also trust will be important for them as they could face jealousy or power struggles. This could be between them or coming from other people, for example because others are envious of what Ijan have. With Lilith conjunct the North Node, their destiny is also connected to some taboo topics. Since everything happens in Scorpio, these topics could be related to hidden things, secrets, psychology and mental health, the dark side of life and or sexuality. The best example, regardless of whether they are in a romantic relationship or not, their amazing chemistry led to a discussion about homosexuality in China. Even without directly addressing certain topics, Ijan empower other people to change their life, for example, people belonging to the LGBT community. Congratulations for making it to the end of the video. Now that you've heard all this information, you probably came to a conclusion yourself. But let me also tell you my opinion as an astrologer. Are Wang Yibo and Chao Zhan soulmates or not? Their horoscopes show challenges and problems in some areas. Nonetheless, theirs is the best compatibility chart I've ever seen. And believe me, in the many years that I've practiced astrology, I've analyzed dozens of relationship charts. Starting from the deep intellectual connection and good communication between them, and finishing with some aspects that could indicate a connection in past lives, I would say that they are definitely soulmates. Please keep in mind that soulmates can have different types of relationships. I am not confirming or denying that they are in a romantic relationship. But yes, I am confirming that the amazing chemistry between them is real and that they share a special bond. Wherever they are in this world, they will always feel somehow connected and drawn towards each other. During the last years, we haven't seen them together anymore, but I hope from the bottom of my heart that they are still close to each other without the public knowing it. Because it would be a shame and probably a lot of pain for two persons with such amazing horoscopes to be apart. So now you know everything about Ijan. If there are any other ships that you want to know more about, please let me know in the comments. I can promise that I will make videos about all of them and it will certainly take some time, but I would love to analyze more compatibility charts. That's all for today. Until the next time, shine bright like the stars.